Good morning, everyone. It's quite a brisk morning out here today. Thank you for joining me with Keeping It Real. This is a time where we take a look at some of the things that we spoke about during our Sunday message and take it into practical application. So for this week, I was talking about building the beloved community based on the work of Martin Luther King and many of the people that came before him. This idea of a beloved community is a place where people are free to express themselves and to be their best incarnation yet. And there are some things that stop us from fully experiencing the beloved community. And I spoke about one of the things is that we have a tendency to focus on the differences that we see in other people instead of trying to find out how we're alike, how we're similar, how, adjust this a bit, there we go, how, what we have in common. We look at what we have different instead, and I think it's a natural human tendency to do that, but I also believe it can be a pretty detrimental one. So how do we begin to overcome this tendency to focus on differences instead of similarities? Early on in my experiences here at Centers for Spiritual Living and the work that I was doing, I really loved the music, the New Thought music that we had, and I would listen to it in my car almost totally. I didn't listen to much else at that time. But some of these wonderful artists that we have, Karen Drucker, Melissa Felipe, David Auld, Michael Gott, all of these beautiful musicians who have written and produced songs that touch us so much. And so I also like to spend a lot of time in my car. I'm an avid driver. That's what I do for fun. Road trips are my favorite thing in the world. So between the two things, the music and the driving experiences, I found an opportunity to actually put into practice something that has helped me move beyond seeing people's differences. And so Karen Drucker has a song that's called "You Are the Face of God." And it goes, "You are the face of God, I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me, you are the face of God." And it's a chant. Beautiful chant that you sing to another person and really experience that connection between the two. So as I said, early on in my time here at Centers for Spiritual Living, I found that at that time in Las Vegas, especially, we had a lot of people out on the street corners asking for money. It was hard to go by any street corner at all and not find someone there. And I found that this disturbed me greatly because it wasn't so much the people disturbed me, but it was the fact that I didn't know what to do to help them. I didn't know, I couldn't give to everybody. I didn't know who to give to, and all of the associated things that go along with that. And so when I would come up to an intersection and there'd be somebody there asking for money, I would get nervous and like, what do I do here? Do I look away? Do I turn? Do I make eye contact? I mean, I knew didn't want to, turn away from him because that just felt really bad in itself, but it was like awkward to make eye contact, and so I didn't know what to do. And one day I'm sitting at a corner and this song comes on, "You Are the Face of God." And what I found myself doing was actually looking at the person, and if possible, making eye contact with them, and singing that song in my head as I'm just there with the person and whatever they're going through in that experience. I'm just there with them. And so in my head I would just repeat, "You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God." And I found such an amazing relief inside of me, which was one of the reasons I was doing it. But I also found that it shifted the reaction of the person that was standing on the corner also. Oftentimes I would get a smile back, they would wave, make some kind of gesture of connection between the two of us. And so that really helped me a lot. And then a few years later, this practice took another leap in its evolution. And so I was reading a book by Pierre Prédavant, which is called The Gentle Art of Blessing. And I was, I really loved it, and the things that he talked about and the simplicity of this practice and yet the profound effect that it could have. And so I had the occasion to be driving from St. George, Utah to Las Vegas one day, and it's about a 2-hour drive. And so I decided I'm going to put this gentle art of blessing into practice on this 2-hour drive. And so every single person that I saw, every vehicle that passed me, every vehicle I passed, I found something to bless. So for instance, there was a pickup truck with a trailer that had 4-wheel ATVs on it. They were going out into the desert to have some fun. And so I just, in my mind, said a blessing for their safety and their enjoyment, and that they had a magnificent time. I saw a van full of kids from some organization going out into doing something, and I thought to myself, that these children are in service to themselves in whatever they're doing. I had no idea what they were doing. They're out in service to themselves, and I know that whatever they do is a service and a blessing to the world. And so it's just simple things like that. People that passed me on the road really fast, I blessed them for a safe journey. People that were turning off, I blessed them at the end of their journey that they'd been on, end of their travels. People that I would see on the road, standing on the street or whatever as I was going by, just blessing them. But what all of that did was that cemented the similarity between us instead of focusing on the differences. By me finding something within myself that I could think of as a blessing to these people, connected us together in a way that was deep and profound. Whether they knew it or not, it was effective in me. And we know that whatever happens in one of us happens within this entire cosmos. That we're all interconnected through this divine energy and this love intelligence. And so just finding these ways to focus on the similarities instead of trying to keep those differences in our mind, because the differences breed fear. They breed hatred. They breed all of the different things. When we think of somebody as different, then there's something there we don't know, we don't understand. And so instead of trying to understand them, we fear them. And so, but by looking at the similarities, well, there's a degree of understanding in that. If I can find something that I'm similar to with somebody else, then I understand them in a deeper way than I did before that. And so this is such a great opportunity, just very simple practices. These 2 different ones that I used, and like I said, both of them happened in my car. I can hear the cars out here right now behind me, and I just wonder, is it possible if everybody in their vehicle, as they did this throughout their day, what a world we could create, what a beloved community we could create here in Las Vegas, and then let that spread out further, because as I said, we know nothing happens in isolation here. So take an opportunity when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're out with other people. Find something that you're similar. Find a similarity with them. Find a way to bless them. You don't have to say it out loud. They don't have to know anything about it. It's what's happening within our own consciousness that is making the shifts and the transformation in our world. Have a wonderful week, everyone. We hope to see you again next week on Keeping It Real. This is Reverend Laura Hallett. Have a great day. Bye-bye.